Right, of course, let's get straight into one of our leading stories. Health and rescue officials continue to arrive in KwaZulu-Natal following the heavy flooding that's resulted in the death of at least 395 people. The Western Cape and Limpopo governments have also dispatched teams of experts to assist the KwaZulu-Natal government. Newzroom Afrika's Pelane Phakgadi is in Durban and joins us live now. Very good morning to you, Pelane. A team of ministers were there yesterday and they talked about help from other parts of the country still needed in KwaZulu-Natal.
Definitely, and the help in itself, it's to do with ensuring that the services which are needed here in KwaZulu-Natal can be rendered as a matter of urgency. And Mamoloko Kubai was also talking about the amount of which was needed in order to come through and assist the area. So 1.8 billion rand to try and assist the housing challenges that we found here in the area, and this really has to do with the kind of work that still has to go. The housing, over 3,000 houses have been demolished because of the heavy rains in the area, and over that number, we are told by Mamoloko Kubai, the Minister of Human Settlement, that there is a budget to really bring about at least 4,000 units of temporary shelters that will be built in the next short while. Timelines, we are told that they will be imminent. They'll be able to give us those timelines as a matter of urgency, because there is the procurement process now has been changed into that of an emergency basis. The law allows that, and the only thing that that will now need to do is that the Auditor General will be auditing as work goes. I think it's one of the talking points that your show will be talking about how are they going to be spending the monies of which have been set aside. Will they be able to rid themselves of corruption, as we have seen with the alleged looting of billions of rand of the COVID-19 relief fund. So at this particular stage, we are told that the Auditor General will be working with the departments as and when they begin to procure the services, and as well as contractors. And there was just an urge as well from Phakgadi Balula saying that the contractors, when they do get their work, especially to construct some of the roads, they need to work hand in hand with the government officials, and they also have to adhere to a lot of our protocols and the stringent protocols of which they've been put in place to ensure that there is no looting whatsoever. And I quote the words that he had used: the budget will be put really on a stringent kind of a way, and there'll be an eye on a hawk, an eye of a hawk really, that will be looking over the funds. And there were talks as well around small businesses, and that was Stella Ndabeni-Abrahams, the minister in that regard, was just giving us an indication that 800 million rand has been set aside for small businesses in particular. So there will be relief funds of which informal traders could be able to apply for at this current stage, and urging people to go to their website in order for them to access those particular funds. And the application is opened immediately until the 21st of April, and then there will be formal applications again for the medium enterprises of which have been affected in that regard. Monies as well has been set aside. Now, speaking to the rescue matter, yes, the rescue teams continue to arrive here in Durban, and of course will be dispatched to different parts of KwaZulu-Natal. Limpopo government as well as the Western Cape governments have dispatched a team of experts to come and assist where they can, and of course that will be in conjunction with the KwaZulu-Natal health officials who are already on the ground. So our expectations, of course, for around 7 or 8 o'clock this morning, we'll be speaking to Rescue SA, of course, just to give us an indication as to the rescue operations that have been going on for the last week or so, and of course if they will still be continuing, until when will they be continuing, and what will be their future plans to try and ensure that they continue to assist the families in particular that are still looking for their loved ones.
Pelane, some really important questions that you make mention of there. We also know, just taking stock of what was said at that press briefing yesterday with the various ministers, Minister of Water and Sanitation, Senzo Mchunu, also speaking about the plan, the logistics when it comes to what he called a war room that will be set up to ensure that there is water and there are sufficient tankers, and areas that have infrastructure problems are dealt with.
Well, the infrastructure problem now has been exacerbated. It has already been compounded for many years. There were already challenges with the aging infrastructure that Mkhune has already indicated, and he said that the floods really had brought about a need, an urgent need to ensure that they rebuild some of the capacity, in particular the wastewater management treatment, of which now needs to be put up into the level where they bring about a water that is acceptable at acceptable standards. And at this current stage, the infrastructure development plan, it is currently underway. There is a war room, a multidisciplinary committee war room from not only the local government level, but the district and as well as the provincial and national governments. They're all working intertwinedly to try and ensure that there is that infrastructure which is built as a matter of agency. While they are working on that, we are told that the water tankers have also been dispatched, yes, to the affected communities, in particular around Phoenix as well, where you've seen that there were some burst water pipes where people were already scrambling to try and get some of those potent water in that particular area. But unfortunately, they could not get any running water into their homes or the streets where they usually do get their water. So at this current stage, there were burst pipes, mega burst pipes, and that is a challenge that Senzo Mkhunu said they have been faced with, and that particular challenge they have to deal with it as a matter of agency. So procurement as well will be dealt with as soon as they know how much is needed, because they're saying that specialists are still quantifying the damage of which is expected to run into its billions.
When can we then now expect the experts from the Western Cape and Polokwane to arrive?
I do expect, of course, that the Western Cape experts should be arriving today, and we will be engaging with them on their operations. And then the Limpopo ones, I do understand that they do have some sort of a function with their MEC, who will be giving them some sort of a farewell before coming here, and that will be around 1 o'clock later on this afternoon before they are dispatched into the area. So perhaps as well they will be arriving later on in the evening to begin some work tomorrow. But the Western Cape team will be here today, and I'm sure will be part of their delegation as we see some of the work that they've been called on to do, and some of the work they feel that they can be able to do to assist the situation here in KZN.
Very well. Let's leave it there for now. Of course, with the rolling coverage coming out of KwaZulu-Natal, one of our reporters, Pelane, stationed there as we bring you the story from all angles in KwaZulu-Natal. The devastating